Patty, thank you so much for being here. I love the idea of having things to remember others. I think that's why I enjoy scrapbooking. It's a way to remember people and things and places and all that. And you're going to show us how to make a memory pillow.
Yes, because this was a t-shirt. And I think it's really neat because it's soft, and if somebody wanted to hold it, you know, it feels
Cuddle
like
up.
something that their loved one had.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm going to show you how some of the things that need to happen here.
And like you say, it's you call them an afterthought instead of recycling. But that's really what we're doing.
Yes.
We're making use of something else.
Yes, and it's a very popular thing to do. So you wouldn't have to lose your loved one to do it. They might just grow out of the t-shirt, and it was their favorite. So it's a neat thing to carry on that memory. And so I've got just a t-shirt right now, and this was something that, you know, we wanted to show you.
All cotton t-shirt, isn't
yeah.
it?
And of course, if it's smaller, you're going to have a smaller design, and you may
And a bigger border, maybe.
Yes,
So,
yes.
But this one takes up pretty much the
right.
whole front.
So you know, you don't have to, but as you can see, I can get a good square on this, but I need extra because the pillow is going to kind of go around. So I'm going to add some to this. But you can kind of see that you need to get the design, because that's the main thing you're going to use. And then I like to just kind of curve that, because I'm going to end up using some fringe out of this.
And I think a sharp point never stays as attractive as having that slight round in it.
Yeah, because you know, you never can get that stuffing all the way down to the corner. So I just round it off with a silly little thing from the kitchen, you know. But you could use anything.
Okay.
And so then I'm going to make sure that I get the seam allowance. And then
This would be the top edge.
yeah, that's the
when it's
stitching
finished,
line. And
stitching.
of course, I did this in dark.
Right, so we could see
Yeah.
it.
so you don't want to make it so that it would show later. So
Right.
use something that would come off. And then at the bottom, I like to use the fringe. You can do all kinds of things with the end, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But I actually come down, because this was wide enough. I just folded that in half, and I needed 2 to go around this, although I have some extra.
Oh, okay.
So
that's why it's the same distance here to here.
right.
Okay.
And sometimes you may not have enough, so you may have to take that out and add and press, so you have that extra length.
All right.
So this was about a 2.5 inch
Fringe.
fringe.
Okay.
So one of the things that is important is stabilizing this. So I use a knit type stabilizer, which is an interfacing.
Is that adhesive back?
Yes, it's a fusible.
Fusible.
And then I get a little bit more, it's kind of beefy, but it's still soft. I don't want to take away the softness.
No.
So I want to get something it's a little different than a lot of people. If they go into the stores, they get a stiffer one, and that's not what you want.
Okay.
So you want to keep it soft. And so let me show you how to do the fringe. And this is just another one that I thought would be kind of a cool idea to do. So I'm going to show you how to do both of these. So what you're going to do is take your fringe, put it on your mat, and I have this really...
This is this part
yes,
along that bottom
yes,
there.
and I need 2 of these.
Front and back.
Yeah, you need it to go all the way around, obviously, but it depends on what size you have that you're working with. But what I do is I put this on the mat.
Just to hold it.
Yeah, because, and this is just painter's tape, and then when I line this up at the edge, this is a 1/2 inch, but you could even do a 1/4 inch. But it's amazing because when you pull this fringe, it starts making a longer piece.
It grows.
Yes, and it gets narrower. So I just come down here and I start cutting. And because this has got a little teardrop, I can get my rotary cutter in here just perfectly. And I'll just go all the way down.
That's about every 1/2 inch or so.
Yes, this is half inches. Or if I wanted inch, I could skip every other one. And so then, once I get the fringe done,
Excuse me.
then I'm going to apply it to to the square, and obviously I didn't make a whole square so we could save space. But I'm going to stitch it on just like I would piping or anything like that.
And this is why you rounded those corners originally.
Yes, and
Makes it
I
much
always want to
easier.
leave just a little bit extra so that when it turns it pops out and doesn't pull. So always kind of pleat or gather or ease or whatever you want to say into that corner. Then when I get ready to put this piece on here, a lot of times these little things creep out into the back, into the seam allowance. And so what I do is I take painter's tape and I just tape it all down, all the way
Good
around.
idea.
So
Because I have done that and caught, you know, a piece of the fringe or something. You've got to take it all out.
It's always the case. So so then I can stitch around it and turn it.
You've made a sandwich.
Right, right. So if you didn't have one of those, you could come in and mark each one of these so that you knew to cut it and just use a regular cutting scissors. Or you can do a shorter fringe if you didn't have enough length or width in your fabric. And so this is just folded in half. Same piece, folded in half and cut up the same way.
Oh.
And then once you start
Save
washing this, it starts curling. And it's a pretty cool look. And then this one I thought, oh, well, what if we fold it the other way? And so this is actually...
Oh, yeah, this one's the fold up here, and this has got the fold on the bottom.
Right, and so this one is folded together and stopped at the end. And so this is what I got from this, and it's just this little loopy stuff. And then I got to thinking, hey, this would be kind of cool to braid.
Makes a nice finish.
Since this is kind of like a nautical look. And so all I do is I take this one right here, and I pull it through this one, and then I take this one and I pull it through this one.
Kind of like braiding hair,
And
but
then,
you've got one less piece to
and
worry
then each
about.
one goes down, and at the end I just tack the last one.
With thread.
Yeah, just tack it with your sewing.
I like that finish on the
thread.
edge. That's really nice.
And so this will be a fun pillow also.
And then let's look at this one so we can see the difference in the two types of fringes.
So here you've got the fringe that's long and fluffy
And of course these were t-shirts, so they're certainly washable, which you would want them to be.
Yes.
And like you say, this makes a really nice curly fringe when it's been washed a bit.
Yes.
Well, these are great ideas, and I like the name Afterthought.
Thank you.
It's a nice way to remember people, places, things, whatever you're wanting to keep. Thank you very much, Patty.
You're welcome.